bot lane metas come and go, and pro players rise and fall. As we cover...
Well, why do they put Cutie there for fall? Like, why do they put Cutie as the one that fall? What do you mean? Cutie never fell off. Don't disrespect my fucking goat like that. F you guys.
The entire history of ADC. It's October 27th, 2009, and League of Legends has just had its official release. The original roster is 40 unique champions, and 5 of them are ADCs. Ashe, Sivir, Tristana, Twitch, and Corki.
And all of them used to go mid. AD carry was a mid lane role is what people thought because they were so easy to kill in other places.
First set of champions that would set the ADC role into motion, but they weren't the same as we know them today. At this time, Ashe had her slowing passive on her Q, being a toggled ability you could turn on or off if for some reason you didn't want to slow the enemy. Her actual passive used to stack up out of combat and then empower her next auto attack. Tristana's kit was relatively similar at this time. However, her old E didn't have the stacking bomb mechanic of today.
Yeah, it was just, bro, this E was so broken. In early solo queue, I used to play, if I was filled, I would play AP Tristana, and it used to have like a 1.1 AP ratio on your E, and your W had an AP ratio as well, and your R had an AP ratio. So you could literally just trade by pressing E on them in lane. You would just get one E off in lane and just walk away from them, and it would take like 330 damage every time. And then as you obviously got more items, it became more and more ridiculous. So DFG Tristana used to be a thing. People would go Deathfire's Grasp on Tristana. You'd jump on them, and then E ult them away, and they would just die to the burst and the burn.
Today. Instead, it dealt magic damage over time and applied grievous wounds. Sivir's W was also different, being a toggled ability allowing her to spend mana to make her blades ricochet. Twitch's W was very strange on release, being an AoE slow around him based on how much poison was applied to the target. And surprisingly, Corki's kit was very similar to today, as he hadn't received his package rework yet. But these champions were not the only things that were different back then. During this time between League of Legends release and the start of Season 1...
Bro, these were the good old days, bro. This is the game I used to love.
One of the most popular ADCs of all time would join the ADC roster. Ezreal. Ezreal stood out against the other current ADCs. As
I used to play this shit in 3v3. Start a fort pot. Holy, it was broken.
Focused more on casting abilities rather than auto-attacking. But Ezreal's W was completely different back then, sending out a wave of energy that would damage enemies and grant allies attack speed.
And?
Another less iconic...
Oh, he didn't even... Dude, I can go all the way back. And W used to be a heal that also did damage. So it would be an attack speed steroid to your team. It would heal everyone within the W. And everyone who was... all the enemies in the W would take damage. So you could literally play W max AP Ezreal, and your W would just be like... You were essentially just a healer. You were essentially a better version of Soraka.
Season 1 would see a record 29 champions added to the league, and 3 of them were ADCs. The first being Miss Fortune.
Oh shit.
At this time, Miss Fortune's strut ability was her passive, and her W was a completely different ability called Impure Shots. Impure Shots actually reward...
It would give you anti-heal, I remember, I think.
Miss Fortune for hitting the same target over and over. A complete opposite to Miss Fortune's love tap.
There's the healing reduction.
Today,
Holy.
Caitlyn was the next ADC to join the roster. On release, she had the exact same abilities as today, except back then, her W and E did not proc her passive.
Yeah, it didn't give her headshots.
The final ADC to be added in Season 1 was Vayne.
Broken, bro. Vayne was the most disgusting champion in the game. It was the most disgusting champion by far in the game. It was like 60% win rate or something. It was insanely broken. Like, you'd press ult and you would literally just be Thanos. It is what it is.
Not received any real reworks since her release, playing exactly the same way in current league.